we're going to start with what I consider the most important story. Share screen. Happy birthday, Sylvester McCoy. And, of course, Sophie Aldrich. Now, Sylvan Soph, like most of the entertainment world, horribly woke, right? Horribly woke. Also, just genuinely lovely people, right? I mean, the two things can be true at once, but they've really, really drunken the woke Kool-Aid, and they really believe that, not have Sophie, probably Sylph, that not having a 40-year-old man with big fake boobs and heels and wearing a thong, twerking in the face of a 3-year-old. If you say that's wrong, they'll think you're a Nazi. But look, you've got to separate the artist from the art from the artist, and the art was. I am besotted. I love Sylvester McCoy's Doctor. Right, often he's my go-to Doctor to watch. Right, it's was a very good time in my life. I was getting laid. I was getting laid for quite a lot, as I recall. So I was, generally speaking, very, very happy then. It's funny. This is the difference with and the generations move, because I'm religious, right? I brought my kids up religious. So my son is in basically that phase of life right now, a little bit older. But instead of bagging his girlfriend, he's got married, and he's got that same goofy, happy expression that I had when I was young and getting a lot of action. God bless him. I'm always happy to. He always makes me giggle. I say how happy he is. Again, he was in Gaza since like October 7th, October 8th. So he can certainly deserve a bit of happiness. Anyway, Sylvan Soph, we love you, baby. We love you. I'm trying to think. Their Big Finish catalogue is very poor, though. If I open up Big Finish always takes forever to open up. See, I take it back. Blimey. That is unusual. Yeah, let's see. The way they display adventures is we'll sort by oldest first, because they're always the better ones. Again, this is not okay. This was quite a good one, but $50 for this, you're having a laugh, right? Okay, fine. Oldest first. We'll start with that. No, Fearmonger, not really. It's more of a pastiche on the rad new Doctor. Genocide thing, not really. Oh, these are more expensive now. $5.36. Fires of Vulcan, yes. Scourge of the Shadow of the Scourge, yes. These are too good. Colditz, yes. Rapture, I thought was quite good, but skippable. I love Bang Bang a Boom. That's the Doctor who does Eurovision. Dark Flame, though, Flip Flop's interesting in that you can play. You have two discs with Big Finish, and you had a black disc and a white disc. You can play either one first. But I wouldn't really call it a seventh Doctor. It was a cleverly written story. So it's a Grey Snow, Harvest. Again, nothing's really great. Honestly, all these are all kind of a bit meh. All right. Death Collectors, Dark Husband, 45. Yeah, Magic Mousetrap. That's a pretty good. It's not a spoiler now. It's a Celestial Toymaker. It's on the cover. Enemy of the Darks is okay. So Sylvester McCoy really did well when he went to different companions. So this is Klein, who he met in Colditz back here, right? Who was a Nazi scientist, and she ended up in there was a timeline where the Nazis won World War II. She ended up in a different timeline, but she remembers a Nazi boss. She was a very Nazi character. So these are really good, actually. That one really works. So you got these three of Colditz, 1,000 Tiny Wings, Survival of the Fittest, and Architects of Destiny. Yeah, that's a good block, right? That is genuinely a good block. Death of the Founder's not bad. It's more. But why is Evelyn Smythe there? She was with the Sixer. I don't know. This is the Lost Stories, the missing season 27, and it falls down sadly on Beth Chalmers, who's cast as the companion, who isn't very good at it. Vivchenko is first introduced. Wow, man, what a long time ago in Robophobia. Again, not really great. I think the Caudal City Order is much better. Okay, so now we get into some good stuff with Protect and Survive, Black and White, and Gods and Monsters. It is too expensive. They should. This should be a box set of 3 stories for about a tenner, right? And it will be an excellent box set. It really is genuinely very good. Okay, this is the best one so far. The Love and War, right? And Unit Dominions, that was one of the first box sets they did, and it worked very well. It introduced the Alex McQueen Master, who was actually pretty darn good. And it continued Rain as a companion. Again, she just wasn't very good Best Charmers in the role, in my humble opinion. But like $50 for that. Are you kidding me? No, it should be a tenner, right? The ones that climb, these are actually quite good, as I remember. I like at the end. Okay, this was pretty good. Assassination Games. That's Seventh Doctor and Ace back with the countermeasure ones. And it was an anniversary thing, I think, where they had 3 different stories set in 1963, and I think this was the best of them. Right, 1 second, let's have a quick look. They'll tell me what came after and what came before, but I think that this was the best of them. So before this was Space Race, and I think after this was 1 second, no. So this was the third. The Space Race was with Colin Baker. It wasn't really that great. Oh, fan for the comment. I hate to say it, this was the best one by far. Although, yeah, again, the Sir McCoy one weren't bad at all. Afterlife, meh. Again, look, it's a lot of very meh stuff, which is surprising because one of my favorite Doctors, right? Again, when they're adapting other things, it's doing well. Damage Good, excellent. Higher Science, excellent. Right, this was okay because I like the premise of I think the Doctor ended up with other companions for 3 separate stories and trying to work out why it was going on. I don't remember this one. The New Adventures of Bernard Summerfield with the Triumph of Sutekh. I'd have to have a re-listen to it. Yeah, nothing here that I'm going to recommend at all, I'm afraid. Again, All-Consuming Fire. Sylvester McCoy's Doctor with Sherlock Holmes. Freaking awesome. Theatre of War. Again, the adaptations are great. Nightshade. Didn't have Nightshade up there. What? Higher Science. Nightshade was one of the first ones, wasn't it? Love and War. I guess not. Hang on. No, was it? Yeah, I must have been thinking of Love and War. Yeah, no, excellent. Yeah, again, if you stay out of the main range, you're fine, man. The 2 Masters was good, but I reckon if you again, it's too expensive. That's really the point. It's just too expensive. Right, 17. So this is the end of a trilogy of Master things. You had Vampire of the Mind with the 6th Doctor and the Alex McQueen Master. Again, solid, good stories. Right, genuinely. And then first one was And You Obey Me with the Jeffrey Beavers Master and Peter Davison. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. Yeah, all these Life of Crime. This is one where they find Mel after Dragonfire. Again, none of these are they're not bad, but I can't say, oh, you got to try these out. Whereas I can recommend Original Sin and Cold Fusion. But man, really, and now we're getting into the era of woke, so things are going to start really falling apart. I should really listen to the Quantum Possibility Engine again, because that one looked like it'd be pretty good. I don't know. The New Adventures, they had a New Adventures crew, right? They were doing the adaptations with. And these was, again, I thought it'd be better than it was, and it really wasn't. Muse of Fire was okay, but that's more because of Katie Manning as Iris Wildtime than anything else. Yeah, this weird trilogy where he hooks up with Mags. Like, why? I don't know. These are awful. Genuinely awful. Awful. Super awful. Skippable. Yeah, no thanks. Sullivan Cross, not really. His adventure in Once in the Future was the best. 20 again. Are you fucking kidding me? £26 for that. Oh no, that's a box set. Far from home. No. 12. Okay, 12.09. That's better. This was incomprehensible. The Last Day, right? I had bought literally every Sylvester McCoy release, and you had to remember everything clearly as he puts together like a dirty dozen to do something. Again, I got the first part. I didn't get the second part. That shows you how well it worked, right? And there's just too many characters. And it doesn't really work on audio because a lot of them sound the bloody same. Doctor Who and Karney is okay, not £30, not $30. Okay, and there was that. Yeah, do not do well on audio. Alaxion, I might well be buying. I don't know. Someone said it. Look, I was talking to Dr. Alex saying, he's putting out some H.P. Lovecraft stuff read by an AI Vincent Price, right? And I really love to listen to it, but I've still got too much stuff for Big Finish to get through. And I paid for that, so I can't not listen to it. And he says, well, why do you keep buying it? I said, I don't know. I think you're right there. I do think you're right. But then I see this go, ooh, shiny thing. So anyway, happy birthday, Sylvester McCoy. I love his Doctor Who, right? I love Doctor Who. You know who says they love Doctor Who? BBC. So I don't know why this is such a big news story, but it's a really weirdly big news story. It says absolutely nothing, right? It says absolutely nothing other than War Between the Land and Sea has been pushed off to 2026. All right, obviously to give them breathing room to get a new production underway, right? And I don't think they can. My guess is they probably can't start a new production until they can announce the Disney deal closed. That's where and I think they got to wait for airing to that. But that will be my guess, and probably we'll see a new Doctor Who in 2027. I think 2027 is based on this statement is a reasonable expectation. Maybe 2028. Right, 2027, my guess is 2027. Let's say they air this on New Year's Day, right? But I think they're going to want to hide it because it's woke, right? I do think they're going to want to hide it because they know. Because listen, everything else in this Doctor Who has like absolutely crashed and burned. So I don't think they're going to want to put in a very exposed slot or like on New Year's Day, or maybe they do just to get it out of the way. I don't know. But anyway, I think they got to announce the Disney deal was dead, and they spoke very positively about Doctor Who. But listen, what was the 1990 press release when they spoke very positively of Doctor Who, and they just kept, speaking very positively about Doctor Who? Let me see if I can. I lost Grok. All right, Grok's good. Again, I like the this. It was a digital service, digital concierge service. What was the BBC statement around the cancelling and cancelling of Doctor Who in 1989, shall we say? Yes, because it's like languishing in the backwaters of audience appreciation. That's how I've known. Where was this? Where how was it? What was it in council in 1989 that included a phrase like battle-weary Time Lord in the backwaters of audience appreciation? Now, again, I may be remembering this wrong. I had a really weird thing happening like that here. Let's see if I'll tell you in a minute. Let's see if it answers. Where is it? I can't find it. But again, they said we are committed to Doctor Who, and it is returning. They kept saying that over and over and over again, right? And we're like, but it's not, right? And that's why we started buying, the Alton videos and stuff like that. Probe. Fine. So several months after several months on Thursday, BBC reassured our audience, Doctor Who is here today, although stopped short of confirming a new series. Well, again, once you've done nothing to me till you confirm a new series. But I think there's probably legal reasons why they can't while the Disney deal was going on, right? Speaking at the Edinburgh TV Festival, Kate Phillips. I mean, look, keep in mind, these are TV producers and they lie as easily as they breathe, right? I mean, look, Jane Tranter said, I didn't think that casting Jodie Whittaker or Shooty Gatwa was some, what's it, salvo or something like that in this culture war. Yes, you did, and everybody knows that you did. It's just like normies have forgotten, but we haven't. It was all about the culture fucking war, and the only reason you're saying it wasn't is because you've lost the culture war. All right, and again, Steve Colbert being cancelled and Howard Stern, it means you lost the culture war, right? It's over, right? And you can keep on making woke shit, and some people probably will, but none of it's going to work. It's all embarrassing now, right? And War Within Land and Sea, I think, will be embarrassing to Russell Davies and the BBC. So my guess is they're going to enter a new production in 2026, probably with a new streaming partner. My guess would be Amazon. And I think probably the new streaming partner, it will have a new creative team in mind. And I think Bandwidth will still have to facilitate as producers because they own it until 2029, I believe. Right? But my guess, from what I've heard from Rusty Davis, they say, I've nothing to do with Doctor Who. No, it won't be my legacy. I don't know what's going on. Yes, you do. But he's basically saying he's out. Right? He's out. And I think they're probably crafting a new Doctor Who right now. God. There's some weird thing inside me that says, maybe they're going to want for a traditionalist approach, go for a traditional approach this time, right? Maybe they want to do that and be successful. Maybe. And why would I think that? Any Hoovers out there, rest assured, Doctor Who is going nowhere. So she could be lying, but it sounds like she's telling the truth. Felix acknowledges the importance of the ongoing collaboration with Disney, which has boosted the show's global reach. Disney has been a great partnership, and it can end with a war between the land and sea next year. But going forward, with or without Disney, Doctor Who will still be on the BBC. That means I think there are negotiations going on. I think, Doctor Who 2027. That's where I'm going. Doctor Who, maybe Christmas special 2027, new show 2028. Just for fuck's sake, cast somebody who's good at the character, right? And don't cast a woman. Don't cast, and even if she's like Helen Mirren, even if she's the greatest actress, don't cast a woman, right? It's like what Jane Tranter was like. What's weird about casting Jodie? It's normal. No, it's never normal to have women play men's roles. That's always weird, right? It's weird when you do that. And that was the thing, Jane Tranter was saying, it's not. Why shouldn't Billy Piper? Because Billy Piper was an actor desperation. Why shouldn't Jodie Whittaker or Shooty Gatwa be Doctor Who? It's weird. No, it's not. It's weird that they wouldn't be. No, it is weird. Super gay cocksucking Doctor Who is weird, right? I'm sorry you live in a degenerate entertainment circle. All of you love Hamas. All of you hate Jews, right? And all of you say you're anti-racist and never anti-Semitic. The only ones who don't hate Jews are the ones who have any form of Jewish heritage, right? And they mostly have to keep their mouth shut, I would have thought, right? But all of you love Owen Jones, right? Well, you're all from the vilest part of the online political spectrum, all right? But You got to understand you're in a tiny minority. People didn't want cocksucking Doctor Who. All right? And if they were going to get cocksucking Doctor Who, it'll be one thing if you had cocksucking Doctor Who with an actor who could pull off cocksucking Doctor Who. I don't even think Denzel Washington could pull that off. Who's the greatest black actor in the world? I don't know. Certainly not Shooty fucking Gatwa. He couldn't do it. And you got epically low ratings, which you're spinning and pretending they aren't as bad as they are. You know how bad they are, right? You know how, but this did not go how you expected. And you will get a lot less shit from fandom if you hadn't given us so much arrogant shit when we said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right? And so, that's really why you people aren't interested in what you have to say. So Lindsay said they're committed to Doctor Who and praising it has a strong connection with younger viewers. She admitted there's no update at the moment on the main series. We will share something as soon as we can. I mean, listen, why did Doctor Who get cancelled in 89? And why did it come back in 2005? Essentially the same reason. You need someone with a vision that can sell it, right? And that's really what you need. In 89, there wasn't anybody with a vision who could sell it, which is sad, really, because look, John Nathan Turner was just tainted. BBC hated him, and he was the last salaried producer, right? They went to all freelancers, and BBC just genuinely hated him, and they hated what he did with Doctor Who. And I don't think they even had any clue how good it got in the last 2 years, right? I would love to see what's his name, Michael Grade, do a review of Remembrance of the Daleks episode 1. I think he would be blown away. He's like, I can't believe this is what Doctor Who is. And he would have given it a bigger budget and put it back on Saturday night, right? Because it was really good. Right, bottom line, and the thing is, Michael Gray did, and you really get this from his interview in the season 26 Blu-ray box set, season 23 Blu-ray box set with Matthew Tzvi. He had a nose for what the public like and what they didn't like, and he saw Doctor Who and said, "This is shit," and he wasn't wrong, right? He wasn't wrong, even in season 22, which I quite like. Right, he said it's overly violent and it looks stupid. Doctor Who has to be on the cutting edge of entertainment. But the point is this: they wanted to get rid of John Nathan Turner, and they really wanted what's his name, the guy who was doing Narnia, I think, to take over, but he wasn't interested in it. And if you had somebody who would champion it, it was like, I have a vision, right? It wouldn't have been cancelled in 89, right? And the reason it came back together is because, was it Jane Tranter? Was it Jane Tranter? Who was head? Or was it Lorraine Hegarty? The head of BBC something or other at the time in 2003 said, look, it's crazy. We've got Doctor Who. It's gold. And they knew Rusty Davies was exploding. And he had a vision for it, right? That's what happened. There's no creative vision right now. It's like it's a wash. It's a shore. Right, it does know where it's going or what it's doing. And again, I think the spin-off's going to be awful. I think the spin-off's going to be absolutely cringe-o-matic. Let's go. So, listen, I think this is a Doctor Who's coming back in 2027. My guess is with Amazon, maybe Netflix, or maybe just the BBC. Maybe they haven't closed on anything yet. Right, that's also very, very possible. But I think with the streaming partner. All right, and I think it'll be unconnected. If it's not Disney, which it won't be, it's going to have to be unconnected to the Disney universe, which they're already saying is in an alternate universe. Right? Take Jodie with you. Right? Take Jodie in an alternate timeline. And there's lots of ways you can fix Doctor Who. I'm intrigued to see if they'll have the sense to do any of them. I think so. I hope so. Right? I hope so. This is a fun little story. Yeah, a second. There you go. Latest Compound auction. Compound Comic Action offers Frank Bellamy, Thunderbirds, and John Ridgway art. Right? Wow. So is this going up for auction? Because none of this I would be interested in. It's all like too old. I have no connection with any of this. So this is Ron Turner stuff though. What's this for? Super Detective Library. Okay. Oh, man, I love Ron Turner's work, though. This is beautiful. Recreation of the wall cover by Ron, cover artwork by Ron Turner for Milestone publication of the book of the same name. First one in 1953. Featured the newly published fantastic art, in the newly found fantastic art, Ron Turner. I wouldn't mind getting that book. I bet it's gorgeous. Again, Ron Turner is just iconic. Oh, God, I would like that page. Holy shit. Is this an auction? What's going on? Oh, what is it? So what is compile command? Oh, it is an auction. Okay. So what we got here? Oh man, this I would love this hanging on my wall. This is beautiful. I mean, you don't see the Dan Dare's face, but oh man, I wonder how much this will sell for. I would love that. Oh, I would love that. Okay, yeah, none of this appeals to me at all. No, nothing to me. That's weird. Is this? It's maybe Photoshop though, or whatever they did in 1960s. Who's Thunderbirds of this? This is Frank Bellamy. I thought it was. That's a beautiful piece as well. It really is. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Rodin's Vet, original cartoon signed by Lat. Again, no idea. Andy Paddy Playtime. I'm interested in the John Ridgway stuff. 2008 Monster original artwork by Gary Leach. I wonder when that was from. 1970s Monster Fun. Gary Leach is also signed. Charlie's War. Now this is the one I'd want. Look at this. Signed by a gazillion people. Jerry Bullock. That's weird. Was he in the Doctor Who? I think he was. Yeah, he was. It was in Time Warrior. That's John Ridgway, maybe. Dickie Howard, Tim Quinn, Rideout. I don't know. Who is that? I don't know. Louise Jameson, to see who it's signed by. I would love that piece. Yeah, I would love to buy that piece. That's nice, right? That's nice, but this is gorgeous. Oh, that is gorgeous. What else do they have? Oh, let's see how much it is. Okay, let's look at this one. £800. £800. That sounds reasonable. I mean, again, I don't have it, but £800 of that seems entirely reasonable. Okay, going down. Page you got to get to. Lots of Commando stuff. £600. Opening bid of $540. I'm surprised they're going for so much. Misty. See, that makes sense. It'd be £65. Man, at the UK Comic Art Convention, hey, £230. That's not bad. That is not bad. And they will go for the UK Comic Art Convention. There was let's see if we can find it. There was a Hellblazer painting that Dave McKean did. Was it UK CAC Dave McKean Hellblazer? Let's see if I can find the. It was a black and white piece. It was gorgeous. Okay, UKCAC convention booklet. Dave McKean Hellblazer. I can't find it. That's a shame. You know why? Because it's vanished. Dave McKean. Let's take out Hellblazer. I'll just do Dave McKean. Maybe 1988. Oh, fine. So this is what he did the following year. And okay, that sold for like 3,000. but like the year before, when nobody had ever heard of him, he did. He'd only done Violent Cases, right? And again, nobody really heard of him as yet. It went for like £60. Oh man! Let's say UKCC 3 convention booklet, Dave McKean. Oh man, what a shame! I wish I could find that. But again, somebody bought it and it never saw the light of day again. Right? That's the bottom line. But the year afterwards, this sold for 3,000. Right? I'm just trying to find where's that page? Here. Open with Google Chrome. Yeah. 88. So it must have been the 87 one. Right? But that sold for 3,000. The year before, it was, I think, a slightly better piece. And it was $60, right? $60. Man. What else we got? This is a fun little story. Karen Gillan reveals her specific condition of returning to Doctor Who as Amy Pond. I mean, listen, we would love to have her back. But you know what? Her stipulation, she's entirely correct, right? She is entirely correct. Where she says, essentially, what is it? Not now. If that would help me, absolutely. Okay, but with Matt Smith and Arthur Darvill, it has to be with them. And you know what? She's right. Any appearance of her without Matt Smith and Arthur Darvill is going to seem just so deeply inauthentic. I mean, really, really deeply inauthentic. So, I mean, it's like, kid, what I would do is, wait a minute, if Doctor Who, if they didn't do a season in 2027, but maybe they did it in, maybe they do the Christmas special 2027, have the season 2028, that would be the 65th anniversary. But you know, again, what I would do, I would just have a opening story, multiple Doctors that we haven't seen before, like Hugh Grant, anybody, but also I get Matt Smith and Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill in, right? Pierce Brosnan, all the people who all the Never Doctors, right? Maybe call that's what you could call it, the Never Doctors, right? And they come together to legitimize their timeline, basically to create the new Doctor Who. And again, I think you could very tacitly write off everything from Peter Capaldi onwards, which is something I would love them to. And again, if whoever does take over running Doctor Who, it's such a mistake for that not to be there. Just like it was a mistake for Rusty Davies, right? Genuinely. But yeah, listen, she's right. Any appearance of her without the other two, I mean, with at least Matt Smith, it's it would be foolish, right? Other Doctor Who news. Again, I keep going, wow, if I lived in London, I used to love the culture. And I'll go, what are you talking about? You can't go out in London. You'll be murdered in a second. You're a fat rabbi. You're not going to make it out. But again, I love the culture in London. Oh, man, if only we could clean out all the anti-British elements. Principal Castle Paddington Museum has now been unmarked with one notable exception. I wonder who the notable exception is. So Bonnie Langford, former going to take up the role of householder Mrs. Bird for the premiere this November. I bet she'll be great in it as Mrs. Bird, right? So they got the Brown family calls Adrian Gregorian as Mr. Brown, Amy Allen Richardson as Mrs. Brown, Delia Bennett Cardy as Judy Brown, and the role of Jonathan Brown will be played by Joseph Bramley, Leo Collin, Steve Harvey, and I guess that's the kid, right? Also in the cast, I don't recognize any of these names whatsoever, other than Bonnie Langford. Okay, so this is them, I guess. Bonnie Langford's such a pro. She really is. I bet this is a lot of fun. I bet it's a couple £100 a ticket as well. I recognize literally none. It looks like Hello, Hello, the musical to me. Okay. We got that. 5. So, Doctor Who star calls to save beloved BBC series amid uncertain future. Make sure it comes back. It's a British institution. Yes, we know that. We know that. So who is this person? Who's the Doctor Who star? It's Rylan Clark, right? Now, I have to tell you, I didn't mind Ryland Clark in the Interstellar Space Contest. I minded the Interstellar Space Contest because it was shit, right? I didn't mind him in the Interstellar Space Contest. I thought he did. He performed as expected, not badly at all. I think I wouldn't have minded it. Like I wouldn't mind it in the Capaldi era or whatever. I liked it when they brought in like big guest stars like that. You know, it was fun, right? It was fun. Duggar too. I still have that in my head, right? I still have that in my head. So anyway, so he actually has a bit of a human moment on Twitter where he interacts with Russell Tovey. He says, "Save Doctor Who, make sure it comes back because of the British institution." Ryan continued, "We cannot not have Doctor Who. I've been a biggest fan of it personally since the reboot back in it wasn't a reboot with Chris Jackson. I've loved every single episode." And that's the thing. Most people have, but the last 7 years have been shit. But I think you put Doctor Who out that doesn't hate the audience and doesn't tell them that chicks with dicks is normal, right? That isn't queer. That isn't political. It's just fun. That doesn't have to go, oh, that Donald Trump, he's Nazi, right? No, and again, you can have political commentary on it, but you have to do it in allegory. And honestly, you can't have anything against the far right at this point. It's played out completely. The people you need to make fun of is the left wings, especially the Labour government, right? Who are, the Guardian said yesterday, it's them losing the ability to keep illegal aliens in these hotels, right? It says their policy is in complete disarray. I'm like, every policy they do is complete disarray. Make fun of that side for a bit, right? Because we're all bored. Like South Park was on, didn't even bother watching it. I'm like, oh, you don't like Donald Trump? Oh, okay. I've heard it all before, and you're wrong about everything. And again, let's be clear. Most people do, right? You've lost the culture war, right? There's a reason why Colbert was cancelled, and it was because Donald Trump interceded and said, oh, I don't like them making jokes about my little pee-pee. That's not what happened. They looked at it and said, we can't continue hating all the country, right? We can't continue chasing off half our audience, right? And they had to cancel the entire show. But it's interesting. I mean, I think this shows you how ingrained it is, right? In Doctor Who, in the love for Doctor Who, in the soul of England, right? That and of course Ryland Clark's gonna want to be in it, right? Why wouldn't he be? Because Doctor Who, he doesn't know how shit it is, and even if he would, he wouldn't acknowledge it. But Doctor Who is shit. The Russell Davies Doctor Who has been absolutely shit, right? Just been garbage beyond garbage beyond garbage. It's been woke lecturing shit that has been disconnected from the audience entirely, which is why it fell totally. And it's set to continue with the same bullshit. Doctor Who spin-off revealed to have major climate change element as Russell Tovey confirms new plot deal. Oh, fuck off, you Greta Thunberg worshipping cunts. Listen, again. If you could show me any real science that says, oh, we're all gonna die, because you've been saying that for all my life, and you said we'll be underwater 10 years ago, right? And weirdly, all your solutions for climate change involve an adoption of socialism and a removal of personal rights. I don't trust I think the science that that the climate change fanaticals rest on is highly questionable. I think it was produced to validate them, and again, it was produced to give socialists political power. Essentially, so stop with your bullshit. That's what Toby gave some insight. The highly anticipated. It's not highly anticipated. Even Rusty Davies is shitting himself and hiding under the table. The world between the land and the sea. I mean, equally, Rusty Davies has this fantasy that this is going to do so well that it'll bring Disney back on board. Good fucking luck, loser. Good luck. The upcoming season will follow Russell Tovey's character, Barclay, a man who is drawn into attempting to stop the conflict between the humans and the legendary monsters, the sea devils, who look nothing like fucking sea devils. Like, absolutely nothing like sea devils. Speaking to Ryan Clark at the festival, Toby gave some insight in the show, saying, it's set in our world. Climate change is a huge factor. Well, fuck off, Russell. Russell, I don't want to hear your political take on anything. You're a moron. Remember years and years when you said an evil Donald Trump-like character will bankrupt and ruin the world? It's not happening, is it? No. America's doing very, very well financially right now, isn't it? It's a world power. It's feared and it's respected. Certainly wasn't that under the Biden days. And here's the thing, Russell. You can be in as much denial, and all your fucking friends, Russell, you can be in as much denial as you want. You were on the wrong side of history. You were wrong. You were wrong about everything. Why would I listen to you about fucking anything? Now, you want to put on an interesting show about Silurians and Sea Devils? You can do that, right? And you can have a political commentary in it, right? But you can't, because you don't know what you're doing. And again, say, oh, evil right-wing people, you sound as convincing as Keir fucking Starmer. Far-right thugs. We're sick of being denigrated for saying that, we don't want a bunch of people from a medieval fucking culture, intimidate, like getting into fights, beating people up, following women, molesting children. Then again, we're not saying they're evil. We're just saying we don't have the same cultural values, right? Like, it's not a thing in Western culture to murder your daughter if she gets raped, right? It's not a thing. Oh, yeah, it's fine. So, again, it needs to be factored into our, so we really get an understanding of it. I don't want to fucking hear the fucking voices in your head, what they're singing to you. And again, I'm sorry you got all these fucking voices in your head. Do you have enough for a barber's quartet yet? Oh, you're fucking bonkers. And that does not look like a sea devil. I am sorry. Toby Edder's character, it's this narrative of a guy who basically, as James Tranter, executive producer, said in the introduction, he's someone who works in the offices and books people's taxes. But some of the series of, by some series, he ends up becoming a very important figure in the world and having to understand the role that and what that entails. Okay, so it's kind of ripped off from Children's End. And in true Doctor Who fashion, he's saving the planet. It was just a total joy to play this everyman who, you're not an everyman, who's a sort of guy who has drifted into his late 30s, early 40s, and unbeknownst to him, it just thought, this is what life is going to be. Oh, I love that. Hopefully it's inspiring. And it's not going to be inspiring. It's going to be grating. It's going to be condescending. And it's going to be based on absolute bullshit. And people feel like it's not over and things can shift anymore. I'm really proud of it. I'm terrified of it and excited by it. All of the things, but working on it is brilliant. The scripts are fab. Yeah, I don't trust you in the slightest. The War Within Land and Sea will see Russell Tovey along with Gugu Mbatha Raw, who's playing a sea devil named Salt. Like, why she got an English name? I don't know. Doctor Who stars also Gemma Regre. Oh, sorry. I mean, like, at least when you had Osgood, it will be like a little bit more interesting, entertaining. This is just dull as fucking ditchwater. Colonel Ibrahim, oh yes, because representation, and Wheelchair Lady Ruth Madley. And Ruth Madley, you've made yourself into Wheelchair Lady, all right? Because that's all you are. You're all that's all Rusty Davis has written for you. Your character is angry, bitchy Wheelchair Lady with a wheelchair that shoots missiles, and she's super tough. You're not. Firepart says, immensely proud of it, says Rusty Davis. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's like we had a good idea. No, you really. I don't believe you, Russell. You haven't had one good idea since you came back, right? Sometimes they go through post-production, everything comes in. You work on the effects of music and grading. Sometimes magic happens. But again, you told me your queer Doctor Who was brilliant. You told me that Ncuti Gatwa was going to be brilliant as Doctor Who. And you were wrong about everything. So sometimes magic happens. More like, so far, The only thing that's happened is absolute shit. Right, absolute shit made by an institutionally racist organization. The future of Doctor Who is with the fans, right? 100% with the fans. Again, Dr. Alex, great example. Head over to the channel. I love this season 12, 13, 14. All of them are fan dabby double dosing, right? But there's this fan bit of goodness as well, which again, it doesn't reflect my view of fandom. It's very much, it ties with the Timeless Child and the Jodie era, but I think the quality of it is so great, right? I can't argue with fandom producing stuff okay, fine, so I don't find it Doctor Who, but the quality they did is fantastic. So this they've been working on, this is Babel Color, who was one of the first people on YouTube colorizing clips of classic black and white Doctor Who and doing a fantastic job doing it. Right, so he's been working on this forever, and like the AI they've been using it, I think is fantastic. Let's check this out. I love the Morbius. I mean, like, again, I don't think these are real doctors, but look, I love what they did with this. It's really clever and directed well. I do recognize half the bit. Oh, Douglas Camfield.
Many faces, many lives.
But I rather assumed those faces were Morbius.
Nah, not all of them, I admit to. Not all of them. I even remember.
I should have been a god!
I once thought I was the last of the Time Lords. But now it seems I may have been the first. These are the
again, this is just gorgeous. I absolutely adore this.
last days, when the shadow of the Great Tower darkened Gallifrey.
Oh man, that's a nice TARDIS actually. Have a quick look so we can. And here, 1 second. So I've seen that one before. I've actually used it. And this one looks like the one from the Infinity Doctors, right? It's Lance Parkin anniversary novel, which I really got to give that a reread. And this was sort of based on Sylvester McCoy's abandoned season 27 console room. I mean, the console at least, but it's pretty close to that, right? Gorgeous, just gorgeous stuff.
The time.
Sally even extraction initiated. Oh man, so cool.
This child has had its time.
Hello? Who's there?
I mean, honestly, I just think it's working wonderfully. Let's go back and see a few of those clips. Man, the way they put that trouncing in running was really, yeah. Because they did it in the name of the Doctor, and it did it on a beach in America, and it didn't look anywhere near as good as that. Look at that. Yeah, Colin Baker was good. Again, and I find the AI for these Doctors to be just perfect. Wait, where's the Colin Baker turning around? Yeah, I mean, this stuff is just so unbelievably realistic.
Hello? Who's there?
Who's there?
Coming next year, I mean, again, Babel, especially with Graham Harper, Philip Hinchcliffe as the Morbius Doctors. George Calacchio, I don't know who he is. They got Jonathan Carlin as a War Doctor. Yeah, I don't know these other people. Anybody else I should know? Wink Taylor's 7th Doctor sounded very good. And Chris Walker-Thompson's 2nd Doctor I've heard before, and that is excellent. Who else we got? So this is FX. But like a lot of these FX shots, are they done with AI? Because it just seems like that would be the way to go, right? Or a combination of. Ben Pickles, CGI TARDIS. I've seen him before. TARDIS Interiors. Chris Thompson, Red TARDIS CGI. Bone TARDIS, Chris Parrott. Yeah, I've seen that one before. Yeah, and Bronze TARDIS. Oh, it's excellent work. Other excellent by them. Trailer voice reconstructed by David Blythe. Voice cloning by John Franklin Robbins. Who's John Franklin Robbins? Yeah, but honestly, fan creativity is where it's at. And that's even a project where I'm like, timeless children, leave me alone. I don't want to hear about it. Right? Not at all. Oh, this is quite a fun little story. Doing, and we pulled that up. And then I love looking at. Oh, here we also got to look at that as well. Let's fine. I'm just ordering things in my head. What am I doing? Share screen. Yeah, this is a fun little story, and I actually think it's quite a clever little story for that matter. Like, not clever, so it's a story of somebody having a good idea, right? Generally having a good idea. Doctor's Calendar enjoys a reboot of a beloved Sean Connery film. What beloved Sean Connery film? Highlander, right? Highlander, which is, I love the original Highlander. But Dan took me on to the Renegade cut of Highlander 2. And that's really good, right? That's really genuinely watchable. And fits much more in with Highlander 1, right? But the idea of having Karen Gillan in it, and I think she's playing Heather, right? Which will be Henry Cavill's love interest that in the original movie gets raped and murdered by Kurgan, who in this movie is played by Dave Bautista. Yeah, and then I think the current day love interest is Marissa Abella. I have no idea who she is. But I think Karen Gillan, as is as young Highlander's Scottish love interest, somewhat brilliant casting. I mean, she can do her original accent. She's got that Hollywood. She has Hollywood presence, right? And she genuinely does. This is somebody who's. I just want their career to be bigger and bigger and bigger, right? I genuinely love her, right? I think she's just a great person, and I feel like I've grown up with her, right? So I think they were crazy not to build a Pirates of the Caribbean movie around her, which that when they were doing a female-led one, that's what I'm talking about. She would have been absolutely fantastic in that. He even said she's not getting raped in the new movie. Well, I hope not, right? But who wants to live forever? And then she grows old and dies, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll light a candle for my wee bunny, Heather." Right? I think good casting. This Highlander movie is good casting. Like Henry Cavill, you put Henry Cavill in anything, I'm interested. Henry Cavill is pure class. Russian Crowe as Ramirez. I think that's excellent. And Dave Bautista as Kurgan, I also think is good. Right? I think this has every chance of being a good movie. Right? Like, really, every chance. I hope it is. I really hope it is. Because, I like a bit Highlander. Anyway, good for Karen Gillan. So, next thing I want to talk about is the different media takes on the recent BBC statement about Doctor Who not going anywhere, right? Which, again, I find interesting. I do find it. But before we get to that, let's talk about why Doctor Who went somewhere, right? Why did Doctor Who go somewhere? Well, because the BBC were morons, essentially. Right, they started making the show for a teeny tiny minority of people, and then they courted the most toxic fans you could possibly imagine, right? To defend their absolute garbage. And so, somebody sent me this. I had the good sense of getting screen grabs of it rather than just showing the name of the guy because, oh my God, the guy is such a douchebag, right? Not this guy. The guy I'm going to be talking about is such a douchebag and shows you everything that's wrong, right, with current day fandom, right? Which I think hopefully will be melting away soon. One can only hope, right? Yeah, and why Doctor Who fell so completely. And this guy is somewhat obsessed about me, right? So I don't want to give us. People send me stuff he puts out, so I don't want to like give him any attention on that because he's just going to get excited. Oh, people are weird. People are weird. And this guy's such a sad little fucker as well. Like he very clearly pays for his clicks on X. Right, because he's get 1,000 views and 0 engagement, which means you pay for that, mate. So anyway, this story starts over here. Radio Times says Doctor Who confirmed to continue with or without Disney. Well, we knew that for a long time, right? We'll come back here. We knew that for a long time, right? Yeah. Now, my guess is it's continuing with a different streaming partner, and they're in. They're in negotiations right now with either Netflix or Amazon. I think are the two most likely sources. It has to be made with Bad Wolf as far as unless they have it bought out from them, right? And it doesn't. It has to be run by Rusty Davies. And I get, of course, Bad Wolf. The insanity that they are, they want to stick with Rusty Davies, right? No matter how much it felt, they want to stick with him. I think all streaming partners are saying no, which is why Russell D. Davies has been very publicly distancing himself from Doctor Who. Right? I think he's also distancing himself because it's been a massive failure and it's a blight on his career. Right? Like, you don't want to go down like this, right? He thought this would be the glorious capstone to his glorious career, and it was the biggest embarrassment I think he could possibly imagine. Right? So, but look, my guess is there's as soon as War Between the Land and Sea has aired, if there's an announcement to make, they will make the announcement of their new streaming partner in the future of Doctor Who. So my sources have told me they want something out by Christmas 2026. I just find that unlikely. They would be able to put it off, right? I just find that would be deeply, deeply unlikely. It'll be great if they can do it. But it's great if they can do it, if they can make Doctor Who be Doctor Who. I mean, that's really the bottom line, right? It really is. For Doctor Who to work, it's got to be like Doctor Who. Because people like Doctor Who. They don't like a queer lecture. They like Doctor Who. And they're not the same thing, right? And again, that Rusty Davies thought I'm just moving it at 1%. Are you out of your fucking mind? No, it's a lot more than 1% when you got your doctor tongue kissing a stranger, another bloke, right? A lot, and then crying over it, all right? No, it's not moving it 1%. But anyway, we have a small sliver of society that really controlled, our means of communications for years and years and years, and eventually we've all just said, "Fuck off, leave us alone." Right, I said last night the way to bring Doctor Who back and have it be successful. Right, well, firstly, have it be like Doctor Who, obviously exciting, but a great opening stunt will be don't reveal who the Doctor is. Have a story with 6 people who could all easily be the Doctor, Timothy, was it Benedict Cumberbatch, Hugh Grant, that sort of people, and the Doctor. Right, again, imagine if they signed up, what's his name, Tom Hiddleston as a Doctor. I mean, that would do very well, right? A wise man once said Doctor Who should be made for 12-year-old boys. Absolutely, 100%. That is the, intelligent 12-year-old boys, I would say. But it's been fabulously gay since 1980. No, it really hasn't. There's been things in it there's been nods in for the gay audience, right? Adric being a masturbatory fantasy in Castrovalva doesn't make it gay, right? Happiness Patrol being very clearly a gay allegory for was it clause 29, clause 28? I can't remember back then. Right. So I was going to say, so basically, and the extend the next Doctor idea. Yeah, but extend it by a long way. And they all find out, you got to work out which one is the Doctor, right? And then that's how you reveal it, and just make it fun. Oh, I really think that will do very well, right? Anyway, back to this. Back to that's where I would like to go. This is where we're coming from. The best way to save Doctor Who is replace Rusty Day with J.K. Rowling. Very interesting idea. I think J.K. Rowling is a bit too of a mature author now to be able to. And look, a screenwriter's been very, very weak, right? Fabulous Beasts and West Final, it just hasn't been a success at all, right? But I guess somebody of that, I mean, like J.K. Rowling of like 20 years ago, maybe, who could revitalize the program. Again, she seems like too much of an adult author for me now, right? She's moved on a lot since the Harry Potter books. So yeah, I mean, again, getting rid of Rusty Davies and replacing him with somebody else. I would say, what's his name? Stephen King's son, Jonah Hill will be a good place to start, right? Terry Battalis, quite frankly. There's a lot of people I think who could do a very good Doctor Who, all right? And they're just not Rusty Davies. Hey, who could? But yeah, I love this. J.K. Rowling. Sadly, it won't happen, but I bet it will be a massive majority of people in favor of such a change for the direction from people who actually pay the license fee, rather than bystanders who don't. Yeah, very good point. Anyway, but again, nothing fleshes out why Doctor Who has failed and where toxic fandom is, in regards to failure, than this response, right? She stands for everything that show detests. No, she doesn't. No, that's not true, right? In fact, the Harry Potter series is one of the most perfect analogies of a totalitarianism takeover, right? So no, it's actually the opposite. I'd rather the misguided but ultimately well-meaning slop that we've been getting over a hate-fueled soapbox. Anyway, it's not a hate-fueled soapbox to say having a vagina is a very important part on being a lady, right? But again, the anger and the insanity and the detachment from reality, right, this is toxic fandom, right? And this is why Doctor Who died. This is 100% what killed Doctor Who, right? With any way, shape, or form. Anyway, but I do think Doctor Who's going to come out. Question is, will they bring it back in a shit form a third time? And you're going to go, maybe. Right? How many times can they bring it back and it be shit? But we're talking about the BBC, and they're morons, right? They are morons, legitimately stupid. Let's look at how Bleeding Cool, like the Wokey Wokes Bleeding Cool, how they reported this, right? Let's move this over here. Doink. That's right, it is. Addy Tantimath. Right, fine. So, BBC, Doctor Who, BBC said all along the show wasn't going anywhere. Yes, but we think they're lying because they're liars. Right? Yeah, BBC, they can't call Hamas a terrorist organization. That's because they're liars, right? They kept telling you Doctor Who was coming back, right, in 1989, and they were lying. Lots and lots of lying, right? They lie a lot. When next season Doctor Who coming, nobody knows. Is Billy Piper the new Doctor? They got to do. I mean, look, if you go for my my solution, you can make Billy Piper one of those Doctors, but you know what? This is what I'll do. This is totally what I'd do. I'd have Billy Piper as one of the possible Doctors, and in the opening 3 minutes, I'll have her exterminated, right? So you know things mean business, right? That'll be yeah. That's the way to start Doctor Who. You can run bets on it. I think it'd be great. Who is the next one? Is Billy Piper the new Doctor? No. It's too soon to tell since no new commission yet. Why is that? Oh, because you made the show queer. And only 3% of the world is queer. And only half of that 3%, oh, sorry, I said gay. So only 3% of the world is gay. And only a third of those are queer. You made it for a teeny tiny niche audience that instead of a mainstream one, right? What a shot! And it didn't work out. It's too soon since there's no new season commissioned yet, but the fact there's no new season commissioned speaks volumes, right? However, the BBC has finally said something that made it official at the annual Edinburgh Television Festival this week. The BBC director of drama, Lindsay, said, "There's no update at the moment." Well, that doesn't sound good. And again, my guess is they're not allowed to say anything till War Between Land and Sea airs, right? At this moment, Doctor Who, but again, and if it's a new production company or a new production, it's not going to tie into this in any way, shape, or form. But we will share something, share as soon as we can, says the BBC. So the BBC is committed to Doctor Who as one of its biggest brands. Well, again, yeah, but you just spent the last 7 years destroying it, right? It's hugely important to us. It used to be. Again, you use it as a soapbox, so I guess it is important. Director of Content, Kate Phillips, said when asked about Doctor Who, "Rest assured, Doctor Who is going nowhere. Disney has been a great partnership and continues with the War Between the Land and the Sea next year. With or without Disney, Doctor Who will still be on the BBC." Well, that I believe as well, right? Maybe they're going to make it without a streaming partner. I find that unlikely. The only reason I make it without a streaming partner is if they want to make it shit and nobody wants to watch it, right? Because the people with the least financial incentive behind them are the BBC, right? But if they're making it with a streaming partner, they, I think they can't make it, woke shit, which it has been for years and years and years. So there you have it. It's not cancelled. No, it is cancelled, and we're waiting for it to be recommissioned. It is cancelled. What the fuck? All right. Yeah, no. This production is cancelled. It's over. It's done. Right? It's not cancelled, and there's no date for return either. So there's no change there other than a confirmation that it hasn't been cancelled. Not exactly proof it hasn't been cancelled. Right? Things have got to come together for it to come back. I hope it does. Again, I believe the internal BBC pushes for Christmas 2026. Right? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. Right? I hope they can. They should be able to. I don't know. I think it would probably be better Christmas 2027 when people had and come back being good. Right, and then do the 2028 season, which will be the 65th anniversary. Right, I think, and that which could somehow make up for the awful 60th anniversary. Earlier this summer, Tom Fiddle, CEO of BBC Studios, the commercial production arm of the corporation, spoke about the future of Doctor Who after the release of the BBC's annual report, which cited £100 million that Doctor Who brought to the Welsh economy, and reiterated the studio is really committed to Doctor Who and continue to look at ways that they can bring the show to fans. Fans love the show. Fans love the Doctor Who brand. Yeah, listen, I think the circuit breaker thing wasn't an FU to fandom. It was a what's the word I'm looking for? It was malfeasance. It was just like people being bad at their jobs, essentially. But I don't think it was an FU to fandom. It was like, oh, look, you fandom, you're like this. Right? I just think they have no idea what they're doing. Let's see if we can find it. 1 second. Doctor Who. Where is Circuit Breaker? It must be back a little bit. Hooniverse, like the Hooniverse show, it's so cringe. It's unbelievably cringe, right? It's like it takes your breath away quite how cringe it is. Here's Circuit Breaker. It's from a while ago now. How long ago was this? A month, under a month ago. Blimey, things move. So yeah, the idea of bringing the future Doctor back at look, having a a what's it called again? Multimedia event. It could be a good idea. Not with this Doctor and this creative team of Esme Jackie Pearson, who I just assume is a diversity hire, right? Because she seems to be to me. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe she's talented. I don't want to because I haven't read her work, but maybe she is. I really don't know. Fine. So it's not going anywhere. And there we go. Yeah, there's more talk about Doctor Who continuing, but again, that really could mean anything. But again, I think you should have what's that? Cunning Monkey, whatever. Yeah, not Cunning Monkey. Dine Puff animate the Paul McGann audios if you want, and put those out just on iPlayer and on like their social media channels. I bet they'll get a huge engagement. Genuinely, I bet that will get massive engagement. Probably more engagement with the target audience that they want, that they've ever had before through the social media channels. I really think that'll get a massive engagement. Segment made in the Edinburgh Television Festival was interesting for the timing. Presumably talks are on the way for the next season of Doctor Who, whether it's with Disney or another streamer, or BBC alone. So it doesn't behoove the parties to make any statements that can put those negotiations at risk. I think he's correct there, right? Note the BBC has praised Disney while asserting the ownership of Doctor Who, and they're not about to sell it out off. Actually, that is a good point, right? No other franchise has warranted these many statements until a deal is made or not. Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel have not received as much scrutiny. Well, really? When going through their respective franchise universe, I think they have. We can't say this enough times. The BBC is not going to cancel Doctor Who because it's worth too much to them as an IP. That's true. I think they got a fiduciary commitment to continue Doctor Who. Like, what that will look like? Will it be a success or failure? We don't know. Right? But look, here's the thing. For the first time in a few years, it's possible that it might not be shit. Right? And that's really where we are. And it is the first time in a few years. It's possible that it might not be shit this time. I just want to hope there's a showrunner that will say no to this nonsense, right? And like really take the show by the scruff of its neck and try and resuscitate it, right? Bring it back to life. I love this as well. Collider. We've reported on this a couple of times, but like this spin is breathtaking. Doctor Who produces the first shooting out and Jodie Whittaker casting from bigoted backlash. There was no bigoted backlash on either occasion, right? There were people who were unsure of Jodie, and that wasn't me at all, right? I thought she'll be great, right? There were people who thought, oh, this is woke casting gone mad, right? That wasn't me at all, right? I'm somebody who was in the bag for this big time, and saw the atrocious work they did, and hated it, and said that I was on board with shooting out. I thought he'll be great. I did. I really did. I thought he'd be like a new Tom Baker. He had a great smile. Yeah, sadly, it's more of a like pedo rapist smile, as it turned out. All he wants to do is get fucked in the ass. This guy. That seems to be his like. What do you want to fight the Daleks? Oh, maybe after I get fucked in the ass a bit, right? Not straight away. So there was no bigoted backlash. That is a massive lie. What was it? I think the BBC headline about Lucy Connolly. Like convicted woman convicted of race hate crime released, I think was the headline about Lucy Connolly. Oy vey. They're the worst, the BBC. They are the absolute worst. The latest season of Doctor Who features some backlash and criticism as viewers accuse the show of going woke. It wasn't an accusation, it was a statement, and it did. Right? It went super woke with Jodie Whittaker, and then went even more woke with Shooter Gower. You know how you can tell? Because the ratings fell off a fucking cliff. Right? Ratings just imploded. All right? That's the sign it went woke. Like, the ratings, it was like a black hole swallowing themselves. Season 14 and 15 cast Shooter Gower making him the first person of colour to play the role, other than Dr. Ruth. Well, not everybody happy was with the casting choice. Had nothing to do with the skin color. I'm sorry. Had to do with like how fucking queer it was. Like him and Rusty Davis were hanging over each other. Let me see if I can find those original pictures of like Shooter Gower and Rusty Davis, which were extremely sexual. T. Davis. Images. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. Here, let me show you the copy image address. If this was a male producer and female star, right, this would be like really out of line. No, I don't want to. And firstly, why are you always dressed like a fucking twat? Where's the picture of them together? But like, where they're like wrapped around each other. Let me find it now. Copy link address. We'll try that. Hang on. No. Okay, let's try copy image address. And again, I think if that was a female star and a male producer, that would be deemed wholly inappropriate, right? I think it was, sexual. And I think there's just a lot of very casual sexuality all the way through the queer era of Doctor Who, right? Yeah, it's a bigoted backup. What was that? He said, who isn't bigoted? Well, okay. Well, yeah, we all have a bigotries, I guess. Oh, yeah, pretending to be social heroes to hide what they are. Yeah, absolutely. Dog whistling. So, yeah, no. It hasn't been accused of. It was woke. You can tell by the viewing figures. Making the first person card to play a while. Not everyone was happy with the casting choice. Actually, pretty much everybody was on board, I think. Former producer Jane Tranter spoke up about these comments, arguing that it's normal. Well, no, that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to make it normal to cast a woman in a masculine role, or to insert adult sexuality in Doctor Who, mainly up his ass, right? Have a super queer Doctor Who. No, it's not normal. It's not normal. And I know you screamed at us that we're backward Luddites because we said, no, that's not normal. No, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. See if I can find this clip, right? Which is like establishment meeting reality. Chakrabarti leaving ERH. So we can find that video clip where she was like, it was the most horrendous thing that she could ever be presented with. Like, what? Where did I see that? Maybe it's on the Lotus Eaters. Lotus Eaters? Oh, because it was a great clip. And it really did, like show up the problem. Yeah, 1 second. Dame Chakrabarti. Let me see if I can find. Am I spelling her name right? Shami Chakrabarti. Was it Newsnight or something? Let's just try if I do a general search for her. Media. Oh, is this it? I think I might have found it. Yeah, from Newsnight. Yeah, okay. So if this is the thing I'm thinking of, this so represents where we are in the world right now. Oops, sorry. Share screen.
How much you talk about rights. It doesn't matter how much you try to impose on people a counter-narrative. If they do not agree with the principle that people from all over the world who have been displaced by conflict have an automatic right to settle in the UK, you are never going to get rid of this issue. It's not one of comms.
It's not one of comms.
No.
And again, they're just like stunned. What do you mean? Yeah, no, it's your ideas that are shit. You got to get this through your fucking thick head. Your ideas are shit and they're rejected by the population.
It's one of refugee conventions.
It's one of numbers. It's completely one of... I mean...
But the numbers... Okay. But let's be honest about the numbers, because the numbers are being distorted.
You mentioned
the poll that you were referring to earlier is that people think there are many, many more illegal migrants.
Well, why do you think that is, Shami? Could it be because the numbers that you have are from a medieval society and they're like just a nightmare for everybody
coming to the country than actually are.
But to offer a corrective to this, there was a poll that was done by Onward that asked people how many migrants do you think are coming to the UK altogether?
Yeah,
and they
legal
answered,
and illegal.
Legal and illegal. They answered.
The problem with migration in England is legal migration.
It's 70,000, which is obviously wrong by a factor of 10. And even then, when massively underestimating the number of people coming, they still said migration is too high.
OK, so why is it then...
Because they're a fucking nightmare, you dumb cunt!
Governments of Conservative persuasion and, so far, Labour persuasion cannot do what they promised the public, which is...
Because why? Honestly, the common denominator easier is because it makes it easier to fuck children, right? That is the answer to every liberal policy. Oh, hang on, now I press the wrong button. There we go, try that.
Rishi Sunak's case, Stop the Boats. Thus far, with Sir Keir Starmer, Smash the Gangs?
Well, it's because we're bound by this principle of rights, which is outdated and does not work for the modern world. If you want to actually do something, it's got nothing to do with smashing the gangs. It's got nothing to do with...
Again, I love the look of Shami Chakrabarty's face.
One in, one out. You have to leave the Refugee Convention. You'd have to leave the ECHR. You'd have to abolish the Human Rights Act.
Well, that's not a country that I would feel very comfortable about.
We don't care that's what you think. You're in the tiny minority. Get your boot off everyone's neck, you fucking fascist cunt.
And I think that a lot of people have a very, very deep sense of decency, of compassion.
Yeah, no, we have the sense of decency and compassion too, right? We just don't agree that means making your country into a shithole.
And fairness. And remember, we are...
How's it fair?
Are all non-nationals in every other country on earth. If we start deconstructing the international rules-based order...
No, we need to deconstruct the international rules-based order, Shami, because how's that working out, right? How is that working out for average people? Pretty shitty. Again, England used to be a safe country. Thursday last week, I was in Israel. I'm out at a mall for dinner. I had having a burger. It was a beautiful night. I was sitting outside, teenagers hanging out, playing. It was lovely, right? It was lovely. It's what England used to be like. It can't be like that right now. Again, you bust in, huge numbers of people who don't share British values. But again, you did it on purpose because you hate England, right? That's why you hate the race of colours.
Chaos and some pretty evil things will lie in our future.
Well,
No, pretty evil things lie in your present, you stupid woman.
You're a human rights lawyer. Sir Keir Starmer was a human rights lawyer. You know him well. You've moved in the same circles. Can you ever imagine him resiling from those international...
No,
absolutely not, because we don't care what anybody fucking says. We're the ones in charge, and we couldn't give a shit about common people. That's why Doctor Who crashed and burned. That's why you have people like Jane Tranter, equally detached from reality, right? And couldn't care less about normal people. I like the fact that Doctor Who can touch on sensitive issues and do it in an entertaining, engaging way. If he did it in an entertaining, engaging way, it will still be on TV, right? But that's how Russell T. Davies writes. Now, Russell writes his own life experience, right? That's it. That's it. I also don't see the casting of Jodie Whittaker as the first female doctor, Ncuti Gatwa as the first black doctor, as some bold step in the culture wars. No. Yeah, 1 second. It's simply as it should be. It's normal. No. Casting women in men's roles. Taking children's family entertainment, family characters, children that should be relatable children, and make them deeply sexual. It's not normal. You want to make it normal, right? You don't care what normal people fucking think, right? Just like Shami Chakrabarti couldn't care less that nobody wants to be in the ECHR, right? That nobody wants it. I'm like, glad you like it. Fuck you. Go away. Get your boot off the neck of the rest of the fucking world. Fucking entitled cunts. I mean, they really are. Who's going to play Doctor Who? Yeah, of course, it was totally the plan that Ncuti Gatwa was going to regenerate then. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 3 and out plan, just like with Jodie Whittaker, right? Fuck you, lying cunts. Oh, man. And they were like, who do you think you're kidding? Really? Like, who do you think you're kidding with all your lying? Because I don't see you winning anybody over, right? I really genuinely don't, right? The only people you're kidding is yourself. Something is a thing of applying sanctions to the UK. That's how bad things are here. Yeah, I hope he does. Man, I hope he does. That would be fucking hilarious. Oh, I would laugh. Oh, do that, Donald, do that. Hey, my name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.